Up in Kelowna, Jamie Boreham, head coach of the Okanagan Sun, and from the Valley, Chilliwack, Bob Reist, head coach of the Huskers, as we tee up week number 2 in a matchup in Chilliwack between these two clubs. And Jamie, let's start with you. Give me your breakdown and review of your team's performance in the week 1 win against Kamloops.
I guess breakdown is we got some work to do. We won. We weren't as sound as we need to be, and we got some corrections to make. So we really are just trying to get better. All our players and coaches trying to get on the same page. And so this is, I guess, going into week 5 for us as a team, as a collective group. So lots of work to do for us.
Bob, what about you? How do you break down what was – everyone's talking about it, game of the week. Everyone's, saying they couldn't believe it and how wild it was to come back and all that. But a tough one for your club. What do you take away?
Hey, listen, there's a lot to take away, when you blow a lead like that with 5 minutes left. And, certainly all the credit goes to West Shore for capitalizing on, the opportunities that were there. But there's a lot of mistakes that we made, certainly in the fourth quarter, but along the way as well. I mean, discipline certainly is something that we need to correct right away. We took an ungodly amount of penalties in that game. So, certainly we had an interesting film breakdown, and we're looking forward to correcting those mistakes and moving on to this week against Okanagan.
I'll ask both you guys this, and we'll start with Jamie. You mentioned it, Bob, penalties, so many penalties, and that wasn't just your club. Every team was racking up the penalty yards across the conference last weekend. What do you see there? Is it overzealous from the Stripes, or are teams that sloppy in week 1? What do you see, Jamie?
Well, it is week 1, so kids are going to be super amped up and trying to make a play. And, we definitely had a few hits and PIs that guys just wanted to make a play, and it's just a little too early for it. And then being the first game, you're going to get some. You just hope it isn't as much as what we ended up having. And so we had a learning experience from it. So I think we'll be better.
Bob?
I can speak to the penalties that we took, and I wish there were more physical penalties in fact that we were taking, but I think a lot of the times, we were week 1, complaining and running our mouths, and that's something that we needed to address and have addressed with our unit. Then there's clearly, like Coach is saying, the offside penalties and the week 1 penalties, that you need to clean up, and that comes up, with repetition throughout the season. So it was all, certainly week 1 for the referees as well, and a lot of flags are out there, but it is what it is, and we're looking forward to moving on.
So Jamie, this is a former teammate of yours on the call here with you, and you're going to be coaching against him, both head coaches this weekend. Just talk a little bit about that experience and what you expect from a Bob Reist football club.
Well, it's always neat to see Bob, whether I'm helping him out or whether I'm coaching against him, and I go see games, and whenever I'm there, I go see him. So it's always nice to reconnect with former teammates. Bob was, man, he was a good football player. He came to play hard-nosed, and you see his team from last year and the team he's got here, they come to play. They're prepared, and I'll say disciplined, but I think we both have the disciplined issues, and I'm pretty sure Coach Reist over there is going to take care of his guys as much as we're going to take care of ours. So we're expecting a real good battle.
Bob, what about you, taking on a Jamie Boreham club and seeing another guy that you have deep ties with standing on a BCFC sideline?
Yeah, hey, listen, I've known Jamie for a long time. I played kind of under him and with him as well, and certainly have a ton of respect for him, and certainly expect a very well coached football team. Coach Boreham's going to have his guys ready to go, and a lot more discipline, like he just said, than I'm sure they were this week. Special teams is something that we're going to need to be really, upping our focus on, because, I expect Coach Boreham team to be fully prepared on that side of the ball as well too. So, you know, we're going to get into the film and, you know, prepare for what we see and what we know. And, you know, and I look forward to seeing them on the sideline.
I've asked every head coach this, and I'll throw it to you guys as well. Something from outside of your game that caught your eye around the conference, whether it was a final score, a player, something that wasn't involved in your week one game that caught your eye around the BCFC. Jamie, we'll start with you.
We were just focused on our game, so I've only really seen Chilliwack and West Shore's film. So I applaud Bob for having his special teams all well oiled and onside punts and onside kicks. So we're definitely going to have to do our fair share of making sure we count down our eligibles and whatnot and make sure we're covered down there.
Bob, what about you?
You know, I mean, same kind of thing as Coach just said there. You know, like certainly I've seen some stats popping off. You know, KJ over there in Langley had a great day and things like that. But you know what really stood out to me, kind of across the league, was sort of refs seem to be clamping down on a few things, and you know, maybe rightfully so. And you know, we need to have our guys prepared for that. You know, moving forward. You know, but yeah, like exactly like Coach says, it goes back to, you know, preparing for these guys, man. This is week 2 and we're not too worried about, you know, things that happened over the weekend that don't concern us. And, you know, we're more focused on preparing to get, you know, for a really good football team coming through this weekend. So,
gentlemen, I appreciate both of your time. I always appreciate when you guys can take a few minutes for myself and for the fans around this league. So thanks for that, and enjoy the preparation and good luck this weekend.
Thanks. See you on Saturday, Bob. Good luck.
Right on. You too, Coach. Take care.
Goodbye.
Awesome.